What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I've been trying to figure out how to go about filming this episode for you guys and fill you in on some big life updates. To put it simply, I'm moving. And we're starting this episode where I started the very first episode when I moved here to Chattanooga, Tennessee, to the shop house I moved 1,000 miles south from New Hampshire to start working out of. The channel's grown in a massive way since then. It's actually, wow. I had 5,000 subscribers when I moved here to Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we're at about almost 45,000 as we speak now. And it's crazy to me because the YouTube channel is actually the newest aspect of my automotive endeavor. I've been doing this for a long time and decided to start a YouTube channel about 5 years ago. So really, the YouTube channel's been based out of Chattanooga, Tennessee longer than it was in New Hampshire before I moved here. So here is where we are now. Much more my own, much more set up. So this episode is basically a walkthrough of the shop and where we started and where we are now and where we're going. Stuff that's outside that I did not come here with is my first open trailer. I had my 24-foot enclosed trailer. I moved down with that, but have since bought a 24-foot open trailer, which has been vital. We got the winch mount on the front of that. That's all on the channel. The E23 with the dogleg gearbox that we built out at my buddy Sutton's shop in California. Did the Overcrest Rally in the desert of Utah. Drove it from California to southern Utah, then drove it 2,000 miles all the way here. And on that trip, found the bus. So if you're new to the channel, you got to go back and watch those episodes. Found the 1946 flexible clipper on the Colorado border of Kansas on the way home from that trip in this car. Impulse bought that, went and got it with my dad, 4,000 miles round trip. Wild. So this car is quite important for that because that was by far the catalyst of how I acquired a dream bus project. The 24-foot enclosed trailer, the first trailer I ever bought. Kayla's 944 that we are currently prepping for the Overcrest Rally in the Ozark Mountains of Arkansas, which we leave for in 2 days. 2 days we're on the road with that car. So this is coming amidst a ton of prep work. My second OBS with a 7.3 in it. Bought this shortly after I moved here in Alabama. Probably am not lying when I say it's my favorite vehicle I own. Rust-free to the core. This truck is as solid as it was the day it was built in 1995. XLT, fully optioned, first year of the keyless entry, still works. AC, heat, cruise control, new old stock, Ford stamped hubcaps. New old stock gooseneck Ford stamped tow mirrors. The appropriate sides, I know a lot of you guys know, but there's a right side and left side even though they're symmetrical. So the emblem is right side up, both sides on this truck. We have since moved Andy's CRX down to this side of the yard. I built a shed, put a lot of my overflow parts in that. So that was huge. Just tried to organize a lot of things. The fastback, obviously did not have that when I moved down here to Tennessee. Now, when I moved here, Andy was in the process of moving out. There was a ton of stuff downstairs here in the shop. It wasn't ready to work out of. There was a lot of wooden shelving in the back along the back wall. The back wall wasn't painted. Indeed, it was blocked by the wooden shelving. We had no idea how much water staining there was on the cinder block. There was just a lot of work to get this thing set up, and I was excited about it. I'd moved all the way down from New Hampshire to South Tennessee to set up my own shop. When I first moved up, Andy's CRX was parked right here, kind of blocking this area that is now kind of like a little hangout spot. We put some turf down, got the 1960s brown Jordan beach chairs, propane tank powers a little uni pizza oven we have out here every now and then, a little fire pit. But although the bay doors are open, let's go in and show you what it looks like now, because this was your first entry into this shop when I first moved here to Tennessee, and it looks totally different. So as we come in, got some racks here with just stuff, all my trailer stuff. Built this out into like the little fab shop area. My welding table, my AV cart with the laptop that runs the dream implement here in the shop. Finally bought a CNC plasma table powered by a PrimeWeld Cut 60. I bought their Cut 50 originally. Super affordable handheld plasma cutter that will cut up to 1/2 inch steel. 1/2-inch steel. I think these retail for like $260 or something crazy. And we have their 325X TIG machine here that I still have yet to set up. I've just been cranking on the Auto Union as much as possible with the MIG. Really want to get a PrimeWeld MIG machine, but when I moved here to Chattanooga, I just picked up this Eastwood MIG 180. Belt sander, bench grinder, kind of just turned this area into, yeah, kind of like the fab end of the shop. The Ingersoll is Andy's upright compressor. But look at the transformation in this place. I almost can't believe the transformation. It's really turned into quite a shop. I mean, most notably, the lift. We put the lift in. There was no lift in here when I moved here. It was just a wide open space. Actually, it wasn't even wide open. Kind of want to talk about some of the projects as well. If you guys have been on the channel, you know that most recently I've been just grinding away on the 1960 Auto Union 1000 SP project. Tube chassis over a shortened Volkswagen Beetle pan on air suspension, obviously. But this is the layout now, guys. Oil drains, drill press, custom bathroom sign, laser engraved, obviously. Dream shop. It really has been. Has been a dream shop. I've been renting, but it's still been a dream shop nonetheless. Put a TV up that I don't hardly use, but it is nice when I've got friends over and we're just kind of hanging out. We can have something playing on the TV. The pallet rack workbench. Bought this down in Dalton, Georgia. Found this guy online. He had a 30-inch deep, 30-inch wide pallet rack system that was used, and I wanted to utilize that as a workbench as well. So cut one side down. That was actually the first job with my welder. Cut these down, added the new crossbars, capped them off, and then utilized the actual pallet rack for storage. The bottom one is still a workbench. Added some lighting. It's been a really cool system for storage and worktop space. I moved down with the 46-inch Husky soft close toolbox, and you saw recently I finally upgraded to the 6-foot version of that box. Obviously moved down with the Corvair. My father and I built this car 10 years ago, at the beginning of this year. First tubing bender, following in my father's footsteps, although his is hydraulic. My father was one of the first people in the central New Hampshire area to have a pipe bender and to do custom exhaust work. So it was really kind of cool to buy one of these finally. Square dies though. Most of the tube chassis work in the Auto Union has been with 1-inch square, which I really like. It's kind of vintage race car feeling. It's come a long ways from where it was when I first moved here. My laser machine, the true workhorse of my life for the last 8 years that I've been self-employed. It's been a wild ride. It's hard to believe I'm approaching a decade. So this turned into the laser shop end of the shop. So this was like attempted to be the clean room as I work with leather, acrylics, wood, all sorts of stuff. As you guys know, I make merchandise with this thing. Make laser engraved, laser cut leather key rings for friends. The house is upstairs. That's originally why I moved here in the first place. Officially a 2-bedroom house upstairs. Could be 3. There's a 3rd room that I have my podcast studio in. But moving down here to rent a 2-bedroom house above a 1,500 square foot shop was just a dream, especially in an area that does not snow like New Hampshire does, and to have this amount of space. Shortly after I got here, I bought the 30,000-mile Dodge Diplomat, the 1987 Diplomat. I kind of scratched my Mopar itch with that car, but never really dove into it. But daily drove that car for a while. That was a really sweet car. It was white over the full 1980s Mopar red. Everything was red inside that car. Shortly after that, I found my OBS, the 7.3 Power Stroke, the 95 F250, which I still have a lot of plans for. I don't have any plans to sell that truck. After selling the Century, I bought the 1968 W108, the fuel-injected power window car from California. That was a one-owner car. Put together all the air suspension components, fabbed up brackets and mounts and all of that. Had a blast with that car. And during the build of that car is when I found the Auto Union 1000 SP. It just so happened to be while my father was in town visiting, so him and I road tripped up to Northern Ohio to go get that car and bring it back here. So that's a quick look back on the last 3 years here in the shop. It's been a massive 3 years, not just for the YouTube channel, but for me. I've learned so much. We've been to so many places. The overall goal when I first moved here to Tennessee was to just be here for a few years, to get out of the Northeast winters, be able to work on cars more, have my own space here, hopefully learn a lot more, grow the channel a bit more, and get back to New Hampshire close to my family. The stars have kind of aligned last second because late fall is not when you want to move to New Hampshire because winter is inbound. We've had a great opportunity to move into a house and a new shop space, only 10 minutes from my parents' house, only 10 minutes from my father's shop where all the other projects are. We're gonna start working on the cab over. We're gonna start working on the bus. So lots more on the spot we're moving to in New Hampshire very soon. We've already made one run up. We had a 26-foot U-Haul with the white Corvair behind us, so that's already up there. So I'm super excited to bring you guys along on the new shop build out and show you what we're starting with and what we hopefully end up with up there in New Hampshire. I am still very much trying to move forward with the 1000 SP, but as you can probably imagine, my workload has just tripled or even more with the sudden move to New Hampshire. Plenty more episodes coming from this shop. We're not packing it up quite yet. The plan is to be moved up into New Hampshire by the end of November. Well, guys, it's been an incredible few years down here. So happy that you've been along for this journey. Really wanted to film this episode to just show you guys how far we've come and to thank you for all of your support. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. We've got so many projects to finish and so many cool things on the horizon. For now, I have 2 days left to get Kayla's 944 ready for our 8-hour haul up into the Ozark Mountains in Arkansas and survive a 4-day rally before packing this thing up and heading to New Hampshire with everything else we have here. Thank you guys so much for all of the support the last few years. Really looking forward to being closer to family back home. Not looking forward to shoveling snow and the salt and the slush and the sleet. But New Hampshire is one of the most beautiful places on earth. Can't wait to show you guys what's in store. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.